to the bunker.
Survivalists, off-gridders, homesteaders, and the like. Welcome to Top's Bunker, a podcast for preppers. Email shtf@topsbunker.com. Website topsbunker.com. Don't forget to check the show notes on your podcast player for valuable links and extra info on this episode. I want to thank y'all for joining us. We got a great show for you. It's been a year since we rebooted Top's Bunker with the new format and hosts, and I have to tell you, wow, 54 episodes in 12 months, and we're still rolling strong. We've got so much content planned for you guys going forward that I honestly don't know how we're going to fit it all in. New guests, new listener spots, top 10s, and scenario-based challenges all in store for you guys. And we really want to thank you so much for being such loyal listeners. Man, just awesome. But before we do all that, let's talk a little bit about some of our favorite episodes over the past year in this very special year in review episode of Top's Bunker. We were talking the other day about dove hunting and all that, and can't wait to learn more about that. But I don't even know what a dove looks like. So I mean, I've got a great field to go shooting, but I don't know what they fucking look like. How do I hunt them?
They look like kind of like pigeons, or they're just smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just wait in the field until you see one flying around and shoot it?
Well, you got to be able to identify it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Unless you just indiscriminately shoot every bird that comes by.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how to do it. So I'm like, well, what does one look like? I mean, my eyesight's not that great.
They have a particular shape.
Yeah, I was about to say it's kind of boomerang kind of shape. Not really. I mean, that's how I pick them out from other birds. Is like most birds have kind of not really square wings, but kind of sloped, and they're more boomerang-ish. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, how we hunt is we go about an hour before dark and sit by a pond, or 2 hours before, and sit out there and just wait for them to come in to take a drink.
Oh, before dark. I thought dove hunting was all done in the morning.
Well, you have what's called shooting light.
Yeah.
So shooting light, at least here in North Carolina, is typically 30 minutes before morning nautical, or before BMNT. So before morning nautical twilight. So, Anyway, 30 minutes before sunrise. That's typically legal shooting light in most places.
Right. And I've seen that on all the Missouri hunting schedules and all that. It always says, 30 minutes before sunrise and 30 minutes after sunset. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're talking about really the safest times to shoot a projectile into the woods, basically, without killing somebody.
Yeah. I mean, in dove huntings, sometimes it can get crowded. Like this last time that we went, we got set up and all the kids had this whole area plotted out. And you pay basically for this dude's field. And there was a lot more people than we were expecting. And it was this guy's last year of doing this particular hunt. And sun started to rise just to the point where you can kind of see. And we realized that literally 50 yards or less, there was a whole line of dudes that had decided to set up while we were, I guess they set up while we couldn't see. And we turned around. And about, 75 yards was another bunch of their buddies that had set up directly behind us. And they did it on purpose.
That doesn't sound safe.
It's not, but they know that if they encroach close enough, most people will just get pissed off and leave. And we weren't leaving, and I guess they decided they weren't leaving. And when doves would pass by, it was just a free-for-all, like going absolutely bonkers.
How do you even know which one you got?
See, that's the hard part. When there's that many people involved, like these dudes knew what they were doing. They were taking birds that we knew that were ours. And I just got to the point where I was like, I'm going to go over here by myself to a nice little shaded spot. And I had this whole field to my advantage. There was a couple of people, but way out in the distance. And with birdshot, you're trying to aim up. You definitely don't want to shoot straight ahead, but you're aiming up. And if you can't aim up, what you can do is take a knee, so you're automatically canted up anyways. And you will get rained down upon basically by pellets, and they're just tiny little, tiny little pellets, and you can hear them sprinkling down like rain.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's not rocket science, but it's not the easiest thing.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go when it's crowded, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and if you can get some, we call them mojos. They're like doves and it looks like their wings are. It's kind of like a wind
vane,
like a wind vane, yeah. And they're shaped like dove, and it looks like their wings are flapping. It attracts the other doves in, and you can set those out maybe in a field or whatever. If you ever go on a hunt that like it's a guided hunt where you pay money or something, they tend to get pissed off when you shoot their mojos. So you might want to shoot them.
And we have some people they take their because doves really like to land up high. So they will have their decoys tied to fishing line, and they'll toss them up and over
like a branch or something.
No, the power lines. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So yeah, we were out in a pond in a field, right? And there was no trees around. It was an open field. It was just a field drainage pond, and hardly you couldn't. I don't know. I could see trees off in the distance, but and it was hot that day. I think it was like 108 or 9.
Ooh,
it was brutal, man. No shade, and all these. It was a veteran hunt thing, so it was free for us. And so he put all the paid people in this one place where there was a tree line and whatever. And he took the veterans over, and he goes, "Hey, this will be good, but not until sundown." And watch them coming in, from the west, come in and sit by the pond. He goes, you won't see any for a while, but when you do, you'll see them. And man, did they come in? They came in hard.
Well, any second now, these dogs will calm down, and we can actually start talking about what the episode tonight is about. I'm thinking it's 1 year in review. Is that what we're doing tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, about a year ago, I think it was the 23rd, is when we came back on the air. But I figured you guys wanted to do some sort of a year in review where we have maybe pick a couple, 2 or 3 of our favorite episodes over the past year, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And maybe talk a little bit about how the next 12 months are going to go. First of all, let me say this. I did listen to the very first episode of Coming Back. Tops is Back is the title of it. I think it was 161, 162, something like that. And we mentioned in it that we weren't going to be a weekly podcast. We said we're going to be an every other week podcast with occasionally dropping something every once in a while in between them just to kind of spice things up. But we quickly learned, and when I mean quickly, I mean first episode, we learned that there was way too much content to talk about to let them go twice a month, every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is way too much. We have so much content we're doing right now that we could probably do 2 episodes a week. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think that really comes down to getting people on, like all these shows that are Monday through Friday, like the big ones, these people have a lot of guests on, and that is how they get 5 episodes a week. They're actual shows where they are scheduled months in advance.
Yeah. But you're also talking, such a production that the post editing is like a full-time job.
Oh, they have a whole crew. These big ones have a whole entire, even like some of the big, I like to listen to Wes Gerber, who does the Sasquatch Chronicles, and he's upwards of 1,200 episodes now. It's massive. He does 2 a week. And, but he's got a crew too. And even back in the beginning, when he was on episode 2 and 300, he still had his brother and his cousin helping him, doing post and doing different things.
I think we came in cautious, and then once we got a couple under our belt, we were like, let's do it. Let's just go in with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think right when we got started and I actually heard my voice on the first recording, I realized just how much I hated my own voice.
Oh my God. Yes.
Everybody does.
What everybody does, like, isn't everybody doesn't like their voice, or everybody doesn't like Jeremy's voice?
No.
I have no doubt in my mind.
No, it's everybody. It's everybody. Because everybody hears their own voice through. Look, a couple of weeks back, and I've got to go again in another month or so. I had to get a hearing test done because my hearing was messed up from that whatever the hell happened, my infection.
What did you just say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I went to this doctor, and we're not talking about one of those things where they put a little headphone on you and they make a little sound and you put your thumb up or whatever. This was a very serious hearing test. Like they put me in like a scientifically enclosed room with, a complete padding. Nobody, like she was on the other side of a window talking and I couldn't even hear anything. It was absolute silence. And they put the headphones on you. And they start doing these tones, then they start doing letters and numbers and words. And like when I say this word, you do this, you do that. It was a long, like 30-minute test. And then they put another set of headphones on sideways. One goes on your temple and one goes on the back of your head while the other headphones are on. And what that's doing is that's sending sound waves that go through your bone. The sound travels through your bone to your ear. And you have to test that because there's a whole process of that type of hearing as well. You hear two ways, through your ears and through vibrations through your bone. Well, that's how you hear your voice. You don't hear your voice through your ears. You hear your voice through your bones. Mm-hmm. When you hear yourself back on a recording, you're hearing what other people actually hear, not what you're used to hearing.
Yeah.
That's why you sound so weird.
And I've talked about them before, but one of the reasons why I like the Shocks headsets so much is because I actually hate wearing my own hearing aids. Even though I know I need to wear them, I absolutely detest hearing them. But the great thing about the Shocks or the open ear headset concept, it's vibrating your bone all the way down to the colloquial tube and the tympanic membrane. And that's actually your ear. The vibration is what you're hearing. And because you don't have something actually in your ear to block it, I still have situational awareness around me.
So you're able to do spatial hearing with those. Is that like some kind of specialized hearing aid?
No. They're the originating company in which we have them is called Shocks, S-H-A or S-H-O-K-Z. And now there's several other companies that make them, like Raycon makes them. There's a couple of off brands that you can find on, Amazon, but they're over the ear, typically. They're bone conducting and they're open ear. So, let's just say I was just in Walmart and I can have music going and hear, and talk to the clerk at the same time. So,
I see what you're saying. So they're not inside your ear hole. They're on the outside on the bone.
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. You got your hearing messed up from an explosion, right? During the war?
Many 25 years worth of explosions.
Pick one.
Yeah, pick one.
And this is how a podcast goes off the rails.
Yes.
Like that. It's just how it goes. I don't like the way my voice sounds, and now we're in a freaking hospital room talking about ear surgery and shit.
Exactly, man. It was terrible. Yeah. Year in review, man. I can't even believe it's been a year. I don't know if it feels longer or
super
shorter.
fast. Yeah, super fast. And we had things like the election. That was a pretty big deal. And although and I'm a Trump fan, I know not everybody is. I am. The way I look at it is he's done so many of the things that I wanted him to do. I'm not saying he did all the things, most of the things, that it almost feels like he's been in office more than 10 months, 9 months.
Yeah,
that's it. 9 months. Still got 3.5 years left.
I know.
And we had Los Angeles basically burning to the ground. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big deal. I'm sure they're still struggling out there. Lots of things happened. And we're recording this. We don't normally record the day before we drop it. To the listeners who are listening, we were recording this yesterday, Thursday. And today, Friday, that you're listening, is the day that you're going to find out what 3A Atlas is. Because it's going to be passing Mars, and they're going to be taking pictures of it today.
Was it today? I thought it was next month for some reason.
Well, it's next month too.
Oh, okay.
It passes by Mars. In October, it's going to go to its perihelion. Perihelion is when, I think it's the closest it will get to the sun is what perihelion is. I'll have to look it up. That's when it makes its bend, when the gravitational pull of the sun is so strong that it whips it around. I'm pretty sure that's what perihelion means, but that's when it happens, is like in October. So yeah, sometime tonight, whenever you're listening to this, and maybe if you're listening to this Saturday morning, you're going to wake up this morning and find out what 3A Atlas is. Mm-hmm. Is it a spacecraft coming from another solar system? Is it a rock? Is it a comet? Did it hit Mars?
Maybe it'll swing by and pick up all the jackasses off our planet.
I'm sure the people right now are like, come get me, pick me up, beat me up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, this place is starting to suck. Let's get out of here. Yeah.
How do y'all want to do this podcast tonight?
I just say we go over our top 3.
All right. So my first one in my top 3, and when I say top 3, I mean, I probably could have found stuff in some of the other episodes that was more educational for prepper survivalist type of things. But just for me personally, these are some of the ones that I just happen to enjoy. So number 1 is episode 161. It's Reality Check. And of course, this is when Jeremy learned the hard way about not being underprepared, not being prepared, but being underprepared while taking a trip with his mom to the mountains. And for some reason, I look back over the year and I remember that episode. I liked it.
Well, now I have to find a new one. You took one from me.
Well, I actually picked 4, so I'm going to let you have that one.
Okay,
how about that?
Got it.
I'll let you have that one. So nice. Go ahead and talk about your 161.
Well, because I got to tell him myself, a lot of people who listen, when I listen to podcasts, I expect that the person or people that I'm listening to are, somewhat of a subject matter expert in that particular thing, or they're experienced. And I believe that all 3 of us are, but I got to tell them myself that, I took a trip with Mom and I was grossly unprepared. Some things went really, good from learning from it all, from actually being in a no kidding, the shit has hit the fan disaster. And then chiding myself for not having what I would normally have. And then making sure that if I ever had to go do it again, that's never going to happen to me again.
I was immersed in the story. I know that I have some skin in the game because you're a host on the podcast and I want to hear your story anyway. But I was envisioning in my head the picture of what you were describing, and I was thinking of everything from The Walking Dead to The World Ends kind of a thing, and it's just the way that, I was in there, like how you guys were having to clean your own dishes, and stuff like that. And, how your mom was in there going, hey, no, where are you going? I'll come with you. No, just stay here. I mean, it was all these different, the visuals of you telling me about them up on the overpass, of the people in the fog. There was a lot to it that it immersed me into the story, which is what I liked.
The best picture I think that I posted on the Facebook page to describe the aftermath part of desperation of people is the one that I took a picture and you're looking down the road and you see the actual overpass, and that overpass is the Blue Ridge Parkway. And you see people in the fog and in the mist, and they're holding their phone up, trying to find signal. That image will be burned in my brain for the rest of my life.
That's a cool image. Yeah.
Isn't that like the theme of the whole thing, man?
Yeah, They literally looked like it looked like a scene out of The Walking Dead. And I think the biggest part that I have to chide myself on, like if I was to go back and, tell myself, hey, dummy, you should have done this, I would have had at least one of my Baofangs with me. I would have had at least one of my Baofangs. Because I have an app on my phone that will pick up on local repeaters, and knowing that the fact that I did have signal directly in front of the hotel, I could have cued in on one of those repeater frequencies and tones and, gotten on the radio, much like the guy in, little Germany. I was within, well, of course the road was gone, but had I been able to get to them, little Switzerland was less than a 10-minute walk.
Oh, I know you had I know you had a plenty of times where you were kicking yourself in the head.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
What in the heck did I do? What I mean,
yeah,
seriously.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I think about when I prep for a trip, is thinking I don't want to be that guy that talks about prepping but wasn't prepped when the time came, when I'm too lazy to put my gun on when I'm going down to Walmart, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be, I'm going to be the person who's prepared. I'm not going to come back on next week and have to talk about how I wasn't there, couldn't save the day, or got shot or something.
It's actually my number 2.
Is it?
Man, it was one of the times I just shut up. I think I was asked, if I remember right, a couple times, "You still there, buddy?" And I'm like, yeah. I'm just taking this shit in. And I listened to it more. I listened to it 3 times, man.
Yeah, I think that episode actually probably could have been about 2 to 2.5 hours.
Well, there were so many lessons to be had out of that, at your expense. But, it changed up a way. And we were teaching at the time, the radio classes, and I had written out some curriculum for basically how to use the radio when you're traveling. And I'd written out some, and I was in the middle of it, kind of towards the end of it. And one of the things that was on the curriculum was to go out and find your repeaters. And just like I have the GMRS app. I think that's probably what you use. And I knew all the repeaters, and I'll write the repeaters down as I travel on my, little area study before I go places. And sometimes I just didn't want to do it, or it just took too long or whatever. But now it's common practice. It's definitely, and I always have 1 or 2 radios with me, depending on who's traveling. Sometimes I have up to 5 or 6, but if I have people traveling with me. But it was definitely at your expense, man. I mean, it was my second favorite episode this last year. So
what was your second one, Keith?
Okay, so my second one was, and I don't have these in any order of preference. I just named off 3, actually 4, because I was afraid someone was going to have the same one. 172, home security with Scotty from Texas. I liked it. I mean, look, anytime you get to think about and talk about weapons, especially guns, but weapons in general, self-defense, I'm down for it. I mean, it's always fun, especially when you bring on somebody who, no offense, but we talk all the time with each other. We're bringing on somebody different, different voice there, different reality and all that. And Scotty's a good guy. We need to get him back on again.
Definitely. Yeah, and I've actually talked to Scotty a little bit. Periodically, we keep in touch, and he's ready to come back on. So whenever we're ready, he's ready.
Yeah. I think the one that I liked about that one the best is talking about the reality of whether or not you could mentally and emotionally handle potentially, defending your house in a lethal manner.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Go ahead, Jeremy. Tell us your number 2.
Number 2 for me is 167. Winter is coming. I really like that one because, well, one, we're on the edge of it again, going into winter. But I think it's because I prefer the winter nowadays as I get older. And it was really good because you could go down so many different rabbit holes, but we were able to pitch the kind of what do you really need in your home? How are you going to get through the winter in case something happens, and that kind of thing. So I really like that one.
Yeah, I listened to that again the other day, and I don't know why I didn't list it. I think I didn't like it myself because I rambled. So,
what number did you say that one was?
167.
Yeah, that was a good one. It's an honorable mention for me. I guess basically it wasn't in my top 3, but well. I've you guys got my number 2 already, but my first one is Master the Disaster. That was our first podcast. That it is 159.
Master the Disaster. I just looked at that one today too, this morning.
That was full of good information, and you could just hear it in our voices that we were stoked to do this. From a standpoint, and it might not be the listener's favorite one, but from a standpoint of a podcaster, it was fun to put together, fun to research, fun to do. And it sounded like we had a lot of fun doing it. So I think there was a lot of passion behind it. At least that's what I heard in our voices. That was my number 1. And number 2 is Jeremy's reality check.
Okay, so my number, well, I guess I'm going to call it number 2 now, would be, am I on 2 or 3? I'm on 2. Is 197, The Get Home Challenge.
Damn it, man.
The midday sun was noticeably hotter than usual as I stepped out of my car in the store parking lot. An uneasy feeling grew in my gut. I left the house in a hurry, having only my EDC. But I had my wallet, and this should only take a few minutes. So I shook it off and entered the store. One of the girls behind the counter greeted me as I stepped in, and the automatic doors closed behind me.
Hello. Let us know if you need help finding something.
But before I had a chance to respond to them, a loud booming clunk startled us, and the store went dark and silent.
Oh, that's not good.
What just happened? What do we do?
Don't worry. The backup generator will kick on in a minute. Grab your store keys and get those doors open.
I'm already on it. We'll keep these doors open until the power comes back on. Should just be a few minutes.
You sure about that? My phone. It's not working. I'll try restarting it. And I'll go out to my truck and plug it in. Maybe the battery is dead. What the hell? My door locks aren't working either. Let me try the key. Shit, no power, no click, no battery, nothing. Okay, let me think for a minute. I see the 2 cashier girls come out front for a smoke. Frantically trying to work their phones, they start to argue about what to do next.
If yours isn't working either, how do we get a hold of the boss?
I don't know. We should just go. Come on.
Just wait a second. Sir?
Have y'all checked your cars yet? Are they working?
No, we get dropped off. Our phones won't work, so we can't call for them to come get us. Can you give us a ride home? It's not far.
I wish I could, really, but that truck ain't going anywhere. Look around, no power, no phones, no cars on the road. As far as I can tell, we're on our own.
This is not happening right now.
You're saying we should start walking?
I'm saying if home is your safe place, you need to get there as quickly as possible. Don't stop unless you need a break and avoid other people if you can. If this is what I think it is, then this store is a target and you're not safe here. Go back inside, get your stuff, grab some drinks and snacks, and start walking. I'm going east, which is that way. You can walk with me if you're going that way.
No, we live the other way, just a few miles.
Are we really doing this?
Yep, let's get our shit and go if we're gonna go.
We went back inside the store. The girls gathered their stuff and headed out. When I was finished getting the supplies I needed to get me home, I left a note on the register that read, "I took some of your stuff, but only what was needed for my survival. I owe you $78.26. Signed, your friendly neighborhood prepper survivalist."
Every time I heard
Oh,
those,
God.
every time I heard those girls' voices, it was like, "What are you doing, Step AI?" Like,
The obvious younger one was definitely not a good actress. I mean, let's just put it that way.
Oh my God. Becky, look at his butt.
yeah. Oh man, I really did enjoy that one. I liked doing the research, and I liked being able to pick stuff out and stay within that budget. It was extremely difficult to do so.
Scenario based. That's where I'm at. I love scenario based type challenges and things like that.
Yeah, those have been. I think the scenarios in the top 10s are probably my favorites. Because the scenario, you got to put brain power to a thing and figure out, how am I going to do this within X amount of budget, or, within this amount of weight or something like that.
Yeah, you also have to be reasonable. You can't just be like, money's no problem. I can just do whatever I want. Or, you can't think of it like a movie. You got to be realistic about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be honest with yourself about it,
Yeah.
Well, I had an honorable mention was the Stranded episode, the other scenario based. I had it as one of my honorable mentions. It was episode 195. The winter episode.
That was a good one.
It was an honorable mention.
Yeah, that was. I damn it, Keith! It took my next one, but I do have an honorable mention and a favorite title. So all of my honorable mention is basically the Dirty Garden Hose episodes. I really like listening to the Dirty Garden Hose. But my favorite title is episode 174, From Stank to Sustainability. For some reason, I love that title so much. For some reason, because I look at it and I'm like, stank, you know.
What episode number was that?
Compost Like a Pro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was right before that one, I believe.
Yeah, well, that's actually the other part of it. 174 is Compost Like a Pro from stank to sustainability.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the stank part, just, I don't know. Every time I see it, I chuckle.
Well, you got to remember, when I named these podcasts, I had just gotten through 6 to 8 hours of listening to it over and over and over and over again, because I'm doing post on it. I'm doing editing on it, so I'm thinking of keywords and I'll write them down. As I'm going through, and stank was one that just kept coming up a couple times. So I'm like, I got to put stank in there somewhere.
I think I said the word stank in that episode at least twice, I think. Yeah.
And you're
174, Compost Like a Pro, from stank to sustainability.
Yeah. I like that title so much.
Yeah.
And for search engine what is it? SEO, search engine operating, or whatever it stands for. It's important what words you put in your titles of your content, whether it's a podcast, a YouTube video, whatever it is, because searchable, that's what SEO is. And all these different algorithms are searching for words when somebody puts in how to top off the oil in your vehicle, and it starts to look for different words and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do a composting podcast and you say, good stuff for your garden, ain't nobody going to find it.
Right.
They're looking for compost.
Yeah.
So sustainability, compost, stank, pro, throw those in there.
Nice. Yeah. I think I just like the word stank a lot. It
is a good word.
But I will say, in that regard, you talk about doing the post. I think our new format of kind of just, rolling in there and start talking what we're doing. I think I like that. And I don't know, but I think it probably at least reduces some of your post time.
When I do the editing on this, because I won't do it tonight, I will have to write up a monologue for opening, and I'll have to write up a monologue for closing. And those are scripted. And then I have to record myself doing them. And then I take all those files, yours and Buddy's and mine, and then my opening and my closing, and I put them all together and put them all into sound files. I have to get them to sound good, which is compression and limiters and noise reductions and all these different things, and then volume levels. And once I get all that down, then I start piecing it all together, get the flow right, and then I start listening from beginning to end, and I start cutting out or adding in or, changing things up. If somebody farts, does something nasty with their throat, whatever, I cut that stuff out.
It takes you like 10 minutes to do this, right?
10 minutes. That's it.
Well, I got to ask, from when you guys very first started back in the day and, going forward, how difficult was it to get started in doing that? And then how is it for you now as compared to then?
Well, I'll tell you this, doing post-production, that has eased up over the years because technology has gotten better. And I'm using different programs, and I use Audacity, and there's different things that have been added on over the years and making things a little bit easier. Plus, I'm getting it better. Mm-hmm. But the podcast took a lot more work pre you guys coming on. And the reason why is because I don't have to talk as much. The banter's in there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to hold the show. You got to remember, a lot of those episodes I did back in the day weren't even with Rhonda. Mm-hmm. In the very, very beginning, she was only on a couple, 2 or 3 here or there.
Yeah.
And it was just me. So I'm having to think of it, write up the content, organize it into chapters and different things, and then get it recorded the way that I wanted to, and do the posting on it, all while having a full-time job, which in my business was a 24-hour-a-day job, because I was in construction on people's homes. You don't just work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You're working all the time. And it was rough. So, and that's why I kind of, after all that time, had decided to stop the show for good. And that's because I just felt like I had done everything I could do. And it was just getting old, man. It was just if I wasn't working, I was working on the podcast.
Yeah.
You hit that burnout. I've noticed that a lot of the prepper stuff that I used to listen to, the podcasters, they all kind of about the same time kind of did the same thing. They kind of stepped back or they started like playing the best of kind of thing, or
Yeah. Well, there's no money. There's no money to be made in podcasting unless you're big.
Yeah.
There really isn't. And you can think that you're the person that you're listening to is the best of the best. They're not, unless they're Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
They're just not. I mean, it's just the way it is, man. Podcasting does not bring in a lot of money. Podcasting is a way for you to push your other stuff, your other videos, or your other businesses, your other websites, whatever it is you're trying to push. But podcasting itself, there's not a lot of money in it.
Yeah. I guess you could call it if you really enjoy it, it's a labor of love.
It's a labor of love. Yeah.
It's a hobby. It's
Yeah.
basically what it is. But it's a cool hobby, though.
So we try and keep it professional. We try and keep it fun. I think we've done that. I ain't gonna lie. We've gone down the weeds a few times and got a little boring. I've fallen asleep to a few of my own episodes. It's happened. It does. We'll try and do better.
We'll listen to Buddy go.
Yeah.
I take out so many ums and ahs from Buddy. It's not even funny.
What are you talking about? Yeah, I used to get chastised. I did a recruiting stint, and my boss I'd go up and do public speaking, and he's like, they would count, in a 30-minute presentation, I would 120 times. And I'm like, really?
You'll do something like you'll say, yeah, so I love to plant, those types of, and I get those plants from this one person, so,
Yeah.
And then I love it. And then because I plant them,
Can't you see the racquetball in my head going back and forth and hitting walls?
and I have to turn that into a sentence that people can understand.
Yeah,
The racket.
and I hope my brain's getting better because I'm taking mushroom coffee. I'm taking some supplements to get that thing going. I feel clear, like the fog is clear.
That's good.
Than what it used to be, but I still have that too. And I'm working on it. I listened to a few episodes and I was, what's going on here? You got to work on it. So it's something that I'm actively working on. So hopefully it gets better.
My biggest thing is for me, my voice is I stutter a lot. When I start to get really excited, and I do this in real life, when I start to get really excited about something I'm saying, I start talking really fast. So I do a lot of editing on myself to try and take out some of the stutters. I keep some of them in. That's fine. With I keep some of the ums in and the ahs and this and that here and there, but I take out a lot. And with Jeremy, I got to cut whole entire freaking sentences. I'm not even kidding. Sometimes whole paragraphs, because he'll talk about something that's like you could say in 3 sentences and he'll talk 15, 20 minutes about it.
Oh no!
Oh yes, you do. Oh, let me tell you something. I got 2 hours worth of content that I'm trying to cut down to 45 minutes. So I have to leave what I call the best of Jeremy in his speeches and his things.
Yeah. Now it is a thing. I try not to do I really do try, and I've actually been to classes to not do that. I just did it, but I think that the time that I spent as a instructor in the military helped me to where I don't have a problem talking to people or talking in public. Missy hates being in public talking. She hates it. My problem is that I have this really weird brain where I have packed just a massive amount of useless knowledge in my mind. And I have nowhere to dump it. So I come on here and I dump it out. I do.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's so stupid because my kids used to call me the great Googler. 95% of the stuff that they ask me about, I don't have to Google because for some reason I know it. I used to get in a lot of trouble as a kid, and because I was in trouble a lot, I got forced to read. So I used to read encyclopedias and dictionaries.
I was about to say, you probably read a lot.
I have read the entire from A to Z of World Book when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
I
remember those.
And then I
just looked at the pictures.
Yeah. I also read A to Z of the medical World Book.
I was outside burning ants with a magnifying glass.
I wasn't allowed to go outside.
But since I did use up my very first 161 reality check on Jeremy, because that was that was also your favorite, I'm going to add in my number 3, which was my number 4, which is going to be episode 200, Zombieland Fitness Program for Prepper Survivalists with Joe Berger.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
I liked it. I did. I liked it. Plus, I love anything in Zombieland. But anyway, no, we didn't talk about zombies that night, but we did talk about fitness. And I think about it a lot because I'm trying to lose weight and get more and fit desperately. As you get older, it's harder. And I go back to that episode of, listening to Joe, who went from, I believe he went from 300 pounds down to like 240 or something.
Yeah.
Or something like that during,
Yeah, it was pretty dramatic.
It's very dramatic and it's very good for his health. And, I suggest anybody who didn't listen to episode 200, go back and listen to it. It might give you a little kick in the butt to exercise more, but that's my other one I like. Again, we should get Joe back on. Maybe it's a time for a refresher, light some fires.
I actually asked him to come back on, and he said he's got a lot of stuff going on right now, but he wants to come back on. So
nice.
So going forward, man, I mean, we are booked right now for the next month and a half.
Yeah.
Buddy, you want to talk about any of the ones that you got people coming in?
So for our next year in podcasting, I've got some heavy hitters coming in, some people you might have heard of, a lot of guys who are in the industry, in our industry, and some of them who aren't, but a lot of good information. I want to bring on some of our old podcast guests, like Medic Mike, I think, with this homeopathic, which was my number 3, by the way.
That was good.
I loved it, man. It was great. I was floored. I listened to it. I don't know. I'm on my 3rd listen now. There's just so much information, and I've talked with him to come back on, and he said, absolutely. What do you want to talk about? And I'm like, well, you said it started with the gut, so let's start there. Mm-hmm. So I think, there might be a series come out of that.
Well, he said he's starting to do some research or learning or taking classes on, I believe, foraging or something like that. Wilderness medicine.
Well, so he's a wilderness medicine instructor. I'm actually taking a class right now, doing the same thing. He's kind of helping me out with a few things, behind the scenes.
But he said that when he gets things a little straightened up with that, he wants to come back on and talk about it.
Yeah, and I have him for wilderness medicine, which wilderness medicine doesn't mean, oh, well, I'm out hiking in the wilderness and that's medicine for that. It's more of when you have what's called the golden hour, and when you live in the city, the golden hour is, the medical standard. Well, if you don't have the golden hour, if you're outside of that, you might live in a rural area to where, it's 45 minutes to an hour to get you to, a level 1 trauma center where they can, do some things. Or if you might have to have a helicopter take you out of where you're at to get you, to live, that's what we call wilderness medicine. So
gotcha. Yeah.
I've got him. I've got several, I know a few instructors. I'll just put it that way. I've got some international casts coming in, for wilderness medicine, for bushcraft, for defense.
Frank from Ireland's going to be on pretty soon.
Oh, yes, and I've got a guy from, I don't want to give his name yet, but from Canada. He lives out in the western part of Canada, who's very knowledgeable, great guy, coming on and talk about some bushcraft and some wilderness medicine. Great dude. I met him along the way. But we've got some surprises coming up, a lot of return guests. And then we're going to have some new players in there and some surprises.
I've been making lists of people that I'd like to talk to, content creators out there that have a pretty good following and a good, have been doing well, have been having a lot of success. And I don't know any of them, but I've been making a good list, and I'm going to start to reach out to these folks and see if we can't get them on.
Well,
and Buddy gets the award for muting himself.
All right. How the hell did I do that? I didn't even touch it.
I don't know.
This ghost is kicking my ass because as I've been in here today, I've had my TV kick on and off 3 times. Now I've muted myself.
That's so funny. I started laughing and I muted my damn self.
It's like, yeah. Okay, so some of our listeners might not like it, or maybe they do, but we're gonna this next year is gonna have a bunch of different surprises, and We're going to do some specials where we have some, midweek specials come on. There'll be some series of certain prepper things. We're going to take you to the next level of prepping because we can only talk about the bug out bag, or your get home bag so much.
We are going to do bug out bag episodes throughout the year. It's going to happen because that's all part of prepping, but we don't want to make them all about that. I've got some things like working right now on the website, which, as you know, is up and running, but we don't have on them is the episodes. That's changing. We're starting to get that set up already. So the episodes will actually be on the website. And the reason for that is I'm hoping to set up some sort of a membership on there where we can maybe even get some extra episodes in, which would be kind of cool. Also, I am learning and figuring out right now how to get the episodes automatically put onto YouTube, just like they are put onto, iTunes and Spotify and all these different places.
Yes.
There's a way to do that where they will automatically go straight over to YouTube, not as a YouTube video, but as a YouTube podcast. Now, YouTube has a lot of strange rules that everybody else doesn't have. It doesn't count your statistics on there. So if you get, if you have 10,000 listens on YouTube, it will not show up on your stats.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube does their own stats and they don't give them to other people.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a lot to learn, but I'm working on that this week and also working on merch. So we got a couple of things right now in the website, but I don't know if they're going to stay those. Those were just kind of tester merch, cups and hats and things that we wanted to see how the whole thing worked. Really finding the best. We don't want to stock anything. We made that mistake with Off-Grid Texas a few years back when we first started doing. We started stocking our own stuff. And it was so difficult, man, because if you make a t-shirt, you have to make a t-shirt that's in men's and in women's, and you have to make it in all the sizes for a man and a woman. And then you have to stock them. And that is very expensive to do.
It's too easy to drop ship now.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Yeah, but they call it print on demand, and it works really well. So trying to find the right company to do that with, you don't make anywhere near as much money on a $20 or $25 t-shirt. You might make $1.50, but it doesn't matter. It's not really much about that. It's more about getting you guys, the listener, to get some merch on you. Get a shirt on you to show your love for the show. Get a hat on you or a mug or something like that. And it's also to spread the word. Somebody might say, "Hey, what's on your shirt? What is that?" And you'll talk about it. That helps the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think finish up our conversation there is we got a lot of surprises. We're actually hitting the gas. We're shifting gears now. We're not slowing down. We're not stepping away. We're shifting gears. We're ramping this thing up, and it's going to get only better.
I will say that I was a bit jealous that I did not get to participate in episode 206 with Brent from Project 223, because I actually listened to him, and when I saw that he was on the episode, I was like, damn it, man. I really wanted to talk to that dude.
Brent from 223, Project 223 is awesome, man. He's from the Pacific Northwest. And when you start looking into some of the stuff he actually does, where he's on rescue crews and all kinds of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah. And I will say one of the episodes that I definitely want to do, as far as stuff that I definitely want to get into on an episode, is functional fitness and tactical fitness.
Oh yeah. Very important.
Those are a couple of things that I've been exploring, the functional fitness part and some of the actual, things that I'm doing while working out. I'm going to tell you, they will whip your ass if you are not prepared for them.
Just getting to the gym whips my ass these days. So.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Putting on my socks. It hurts.
Oh God.
Getting my leg bent in just the right position to put my socks on. It's like, but I joke, but in all seriousness, stretching and circulatory has really been a big thing for me. So I've started doing that Thai stuff in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Tai Chi,
yeah.
It's really, it makes your blood move. It really does. You're not doing anything strenuous. You're just doing some movements that allow your veins and arteries to actually open up properly and move your blood around. It actually feels pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done it before.
I can send you a channel that I utilize, because I'll do Tai Chi in the morning, workout, and then yoga after to really stretch it out. But on the cruise, I overdid it on one day, and it had me where I couldn't work out for 2 days, but I literally felt like I tore like all my everything in my upper body.
Man, why do you even want to work out when you're on a cruise? You should be eating everything that you can see and put your hands on and drink.
Because it's free. Well, I mean, you paid for it, but yeah.
It's a nice gym, and there's plenty of food, but I had a routine, and if I don't have a routine in the morning, like I'll go crazy.
You see Jeremy jump off the side of the boat. He's like swimming, doing his laps.
I can swim. I mean, my people were natural swimmers, but no, it was a really good trip. But I liked, getting up in the morning, have my coffee, go work out, relax afterwards, get in a hot tub, chill out, do my meditation, and then go eat a massive breakfast, Yeah,
so, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you just say that Hispanics were natural swimmers?
No,
that's what he said.
He said that. I heard it say.
I didn't use the word Hispanic, but I am. Well, you know
why Mexicans don't have an Olympic team, right?
Oh gosh.
Everybody who can run, jump, or swim is already over here.
I've got a couple of good Mexican jokes being from South Texas, but I'm not going to do that.
My Prepper brothers and sisters, Top's Bunker podcast rattles around between rank 5 and rank 6 consistently in our genre. And all of that is because of all of you listening each week, engaging with us on the show and in the Top's Bunker Facebook group. We have always invited you guys to be a part of the show by coming on the show as guests to talk about your prepper survivalist journey. And that has never changed, will never change. I know it sounds scary to be on a podcast. I hear it from a lot of guests, but the truth is they all say the same thing. After just a few minutes, everyone relaxes and the fun takes over. You can do it too. Please consider coming on the show to talk with us. We promise to keep it light and fun and help you tell your story the way you want it told. Stay prepped, stay happy. Thanks for listening, and good night.